What's up, legacy leaders? It is your favorite life and leadership coach, Manonie, with another Manonie moment. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. All right, y'all, we are back in our virtual book club. Yes! And we are reading Make It Work. Y'all already know Make It Work by Tony Gaskins Jr. Yes, y'all. Put your hands in the air if you've been enjoying this book. Yes, it's me. I've been enjoying this. I know some of y'all have shared with me that y'all are reading along. I'm so excited. Y'all, it just feels good. Yes. Yes. And it's already a good 2025. God is so awesome. All right, y'all. We are in chapter 12. Be honest. Be honest. And y'all y'all know how I like to do it. We're going to dive on in. All right. Chapter 12. Be honest. Over the years, I've learned that one of the biggest issues in relationships is a lack of honesty. There are many reasons why we lie. Anyone with a heart naturally does not want to hurt someone with words. We want to be gentle, loving, and kind. For most people, that feeling is innate. We know what criticism feels like. We know what pain feels like. We know how shocking the truth can be. Therefore, we don't want others to feel that way. There are also people who live on the other side of the spectrum. Those individuals love sharing the harsh truth. They relish in the raw effect that the truth has on a person. You have to find a middle ground. The truth is necessary, but how you share it is also important. How many of us can relate? As it relates to truth telling, what type of person are you? Are you a people pleaser? Are you the type who had a lot of pressure put on you to be perfect growing up? There's the type of person who walks on eggshells trying not to offend anyone. He wants to be perfect in everything he does. He's seeking the approval of others with almost everything he does. He's been critiqued in the past and it hurts. He does not want to let his parents down. Everything he does has to be perfect. And if he makes a mistake, he wants to brush over it with perfection. He's afraid to fail because he can't bear to hear the disappointment in his mother's voice. Then there's the person who just doesn't care who he hurts. He's brutally honest because someone was brutally honest with him. All his life, he was hit with the raw truth. For years, it made him cry until eventually he learned to let it roll off his back like water off a duck. As a result, he formed a habit of telling the unadulterated truth wherever he felt like it. He didn't care who he offended or how they received it. If he felt like it, he shared it. Although I've encountered this type of person in coaching, it is significantly less common. If your spouse tells lies because he or she fears you, disappointment, or backlash, it's up to you to create a safe zone. Y'all, I'm going to say that again. It is up to you to create a safe zone. This is where communication comes into play. It takes honest communication to let your partner know you understand that he or she is human and will make mistakes. Assure your spouse that mistakes are human and both of you will make them. I'm going to say that again. Assure your spouse that mistakes are human and both of you will make them. Exactly. Once you've made it clear that you've grown, changed, and created space for truth, things must change. There is no excuse for lies to be allowed in a relationship once a safe place is established. If the lies continue, there's a real issue that must be addressed. Honesty is what brings couples together. Honesty is what brings couples together, y'all. Honesty is what brings couples together. Honesty is what brings couples together. What will you do with the truth when you hear it? Think about it. If you reject your spouse's honesty, he or she will stop sharing with you. I'm going to say that again. If you reject your spouse's honesty, he or she will stop sharing with you. Creating a safe place doesn't only mean that you don't throw things, scream, yell, curse, or get physical. It also means you don't invalidate your spouse's words with your words of rebuttal. You can ruin the safe place even with quiet room tone responses that discredit your spouse's feelings. It is very important to be mindful of what you do in response to his or her honesty. So we want to be mindful of how we are responding to our spouse's honesty. Okay? The truth is necessary because without it, problems arise. If there is a need in a relationship and the truth is omitted, the person guilty of omission may then step outside of the marriage in a way that will be detrimental. Stepping outside of the marriage could be as simple as sharing inside business with outsiders. Remember we talked about that? These outsiders can't bring any solutions to the situation. It could also mean having affairs, trying to fill a void that could have been filled if the truth had been shared in the relationship. An omission of truth could be just as bad as a lie. An omission of truth can be just as bad as a lie. Tell the truth, but tell it with respect and out of love for your spouse. Stick to only what is helpful, okay? The truth can hurt, but then it can help, okay? So it'll hurt in some cases, but it's going to help, okay? When it's your turn to tell the truth, do it in love. I can't stress this enough. When it's your turn to tell the truth, do it in love, y'all. Do it in love. Don't share the truth in a way that is intended to degrade, demean, or damage your spouse. This is why the communication rules are so important. Your delivery of truth can nullify the truth if it's delivered the wrong way. Some things you discuss will hurt no matter how you say them. If a truth will benefit the relationship in the end, tell it like it needs to be told, okay? I'm going to say that again. If a truth will benefit the relationship in the end, tell it like it needs to be told. The goal is to bring clarity to the situation. If you really love your spouse and you want your relationship to work, you will be honest, okay? Honesty brings us closer together. Remember that. The presence of truth is not synonymous with the absence of discretion, okay? I'm going to say that again. The presence of truth is not synonymous with the absence of discretion. You must choose what you share wisely. Letting your spouse know the woman's butt in front of you is nicer than hers is an abuse of the truth. That seems obvious, but many relationships fail because of misuse of the truth. Although that butt may be in fact be nicer than your spouse's, it's not beneficial to your relationship to mention it. Instead, focusing on the comparison shows you don't deeply love your spouse. Ooh, ooh. How many of people are stinging from that? Ooh. And how many of y'all have met people that are just like, I'm just honest. Ooh. Let's let God fine tune us and help us to be more tactful, mindful, right? Use discretion. Read this book and books like this, amen. One of the other things he mentioned was of the woman mentioning how maybe a man makes more money than your man and stuff like that. Not helpful. Yes, it may be the truth that he makes more money than your man, your husband, but don't mention it, all right? Use discretion, use wisdom. Another form of truth that is not always beneficial is omission of past mistakes that have no bearing on your present relationship. You don't need to tell everything, amen? Yes, you may have felt. Let me begin again. Yes, you may have guilt over the things you've done in the past, but it has no effect on your spouse in the present. There's no need to uncover those things. I have coached many clients who felt the need to share with their spouse every experience they've had in the past. That is not necessary, even if your spouse asks you. Some things have no benefit of sharing. It's okay to say, that is my business and it has no bearing on the present. I'm going to repeat that again. That is my business and it has no bearing on the present. A part of being human is making mistakes and experiencing things that only God understands. A part of making mistakes is receiving grace. If you make a mistake and you were graced enough to get past it without it blowing up in your face, accept that grace. There is no need to penalize yourself when God has already granted you grace. You may need to confess to a spiritual leader. Maybe you feel that you must tell someone about the offense. You must understand that His grace is sufficient. Amen. If you have asked God to forgive you, it is forgiven. If it didn't blow up in your face, it's because you've been granted grace and you need to move forward and not repeat the error again, okay? Some things are just between you and God, y'all. Again, if they have no bearing on your present relationship, you don't need to talk about it. That does not make you a liar. And I've just heard people, especially us women, be manipulated into talking about unnecessary things in our past that have no bearing on the present relationship. Okay, you do share things that do have bearing, that are going to affect the present relationship. Amen. Walk in truth and know what truth needs to be shared in your relationship. Don't sweep pressing issues under the rug. Speak up, but do so from a place of love. Relationships need an open line of communication, and we need for that communication to be honest. Trust your intuition and do what is best for your relationship. Yes. Okay, y'all. So he has reflection questions on page 141. But this is what my takeaway was from this for us. And this is what the Lord put on my spirit. Are you a safe place, or do people feel like they got a lot to kick it with you? Are you a safe place, or do people feel like they have to lie to kick it with you? And when I say people, I'm saying that because some of us that are watching this are single. Some of you are divorced. And this also just applies to children, and I'm going to touch on that in a second. But again, are you a safe place, or do people feel like they have to lie to kick it? And I grew up with the song that I learned as a little kid. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my mother, not my father, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And y'all, it's us that needs the prayer. It's so easy to point the finger and be like, oh, I was lied to. My spouse lied to me. Before we just dive into being a victim, we want to self-assess and say, is there a reason that, am I coming across in such a manner that's causing my spouse to lie to me, that's causing my friend to lie to me, that's causing my child to lie to me? Don't just point the finger and just be like, how dare them lie to me? I can't trust them, yada, yada, yada. Don't do that. Look at yourself and have a conversation with God. And then also ask your inner circle. Say, how do I come across? Do I cause you to feel like you have to prove a point or anything like that? Am I comfortable? Do I cause you to feel comfortable? Ask your inner circle, ask your spouse that, like, is it something about me that makes you feel uncomfortable or feel like you have to lie? Just take inventory about you. Do some assessments about you. Talk to your inner circle. Talk to your children, because, we, us parents, we know children can lie, but instead of just getting so mad at the person, just say, is there something that I can do to help you feel more comfortable telling me the truth? That's what the Lord put on my spirit as a takeaway from this chapter about being honest, is how am I coming across? What I love about God is so loving and grace, full of grace and mercy and compassion. He's just such a safe place. Daddy God is a safe place. And so are you a safe place? Are you like Christ? Can people just come to you and feel like they can be honest and truthful and not feel judged and looked down upon and all of those things like that? So that's what came to my mind for us to think about. Again, are you a safe place, or do people feel like they got a lot of kick it? Do they feel like they have to lie because they're going to disappoint you or something like that? And if so, just pray and just say, create in me a clean heart, oh God, renew the right spirit within me. Lord, help me to be a safe place for my spouse. Help me to be a safe place for my children, and help me to be a safe place for my inner circle. It's so important. And of course, we're always wanting to pray over people, but y'all, this is about us doing the inner work. We are legacy leaders. We're children of the Most High God, and we just want to do the inner work. Amen. And we are going to be honest. All right, y'all, that's it for now. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah! Bye.